Hello everyone, welcome to our news channel. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel. Tennessee Titans new general manager Carthon spoke at the 2023 NFL Combine about a number of topics including Ryan Tannehill's status, his relationship with head coach Mike Vrabel and his meeting with Jeffrey Simmons. Tennessee Titans new general manager Carthon did his first NFL Combine interview as the leader of the Titans organization, and he spoke on a multitude of different topics. Carthon completed the interview without saying anything controversial, but there were some interesting comments throughout the session. How is the relationship with Vrabel coming along? Carthon: it's been going really well. Like I said in my presser, our foundation of football is the same, right, and it helps me coming into a system that's already established in terms of what it is going to look like to be a Tennessee Titan both offensively, defensively, and special teams. You know, we'll work through any tiebreaker, on roster decisions, right? So, it's not an ego thing, and again, I am coming into this thing with the mind frame of helping him build a team in the way he wants to see it. I'm in the learning phase of what that looks like and what that's going to be. So, if there is a tiebreaker, we will cross that bridge when we get there, but right now we are on the same page. Thoughts on Ryan Tannehill? Carthon: Ryan has done a great job. Ryan has won a lot of football games, as you guys know. He has been a diligent worker and he's been in the building every day, rehabbing and getting his work in. So, he's under contract and I'm excited about moving forward with him and, you know, like I said, he's done a ton of great things and I have a lot of respect for him. Tannehill's status on the roster. Carthon: well, it's a process, right? So, you have to evaluate everybody at every position, every year, and we will continue to do that. We'll continue to stack and rank our quarterbacks whether it's free agency or the draft, cause you always have to look for options at every position, every year. You can't settle, and we all know the quarterback position is, seen as one of the top positions in our league, so you always got to have one. You look at John Lynch, who just walked by. John Lynch ended the year on his fourth quarterback, right? So, you got to be good at that position from top to bottom, however many you decide to keep. Ryan is under contract. I just want to speak freely for a moment. I know everyone wants to make a big deal, out of the quarterback position and whether he will or won't be here, but you guys just have to accept that Ryan is under contract, right now for us. He is a Titan and he will be a Titan. How will prospect interviews be handled and does former NFL experience help? Carthon: it helps because I have gone through this interview process as a player. You just want to make it as human as possible. You want to create an environment where they can truly show who they are, and in doing that I think you create a comfortable environment. If you come into our interview room, again you have myself, you have Mike Vrabel, and you have other people in the room who have played the game. So, we're in this space, it's only 20 minutes. So, how much can you really get from someone? So you really want to create that environment to allow us to get those questions answered that we need. Will you build around Derrick Henry? Carthon: so, again, we aren't going to build around one person in particular, right? This is a football team. I was just talking with Mike Keith, and at the end of the day it is like putting a puzzle together, right? You know what the puzzle or picture is going to look like when you open the box, you just got to get there. So, we are still collecting all the pieces to make that puzzle picture come to light at the end. How will player contract negotiations be handled? Carthon: so, we're not going to talk about, one thing I will tell you guys and the agents I have spoken to, we will not negotiate publicly. That's not what we're going to do. We're a family. We're going to keep family business in-house, and when that time comes to make a public announcement, one way or another, we'll do that. On the release of Taylor Lewan and the status of the offensive line. Carthon: so, It was a lot of injuries, and to answer your question about Taylor, Taylor has been a key cog and a super productive member of the organization for a while, so that was a tough move to make, but it was one that we needed to make, and Taylor understood that. But moving forward, we just got to continue to build the O-line. If you're going to be able to have your franchise quarterback or have your franchise running back, or however you want to put it, you got to be able to protect those people and open up holes, for those guys. So we will continue to look for those players and add depth to that as well. In the event of injuries, we'll be able to keep the ball rolling. Philosophy on team building. Carthon, again, it's, I've always said it's my own personal philosophy that it's cute to play Golden State Warriors football in September and October when the weather's good, but the teams that are playing in January and February are teams that play tough defense and are able to run the ball. So, you got to be able to do those things. Process for building the roster. Carthon, I lean on Mike a lot. Our offices are right next door to each other. So, I'm in there or he comes to my office, and again this is his vision of the offense, defense and special teams. I'm learning that, right? So, the best person to learn that from is him. So, I go to him, hey man, am I seeing this correct? I think this guy can do these things, and what are we looking for? I met with the assistant coaches from each position group and had them put together a 15 to 20 play highlight tape of what they're looking for at every single position, and when they're talking about hand use or talking about specific moves, putting examples on the tape, so I learn their specific language through that. And so again, whether it is with Mike or with Shane, Bowen, whether it is with Tim, Kelly, or Craig Ackerman, like we're spending time together so I can learn their language and see exactly what they want when we're talking to players. Meeting with Jeffrey Simmons. Carthon, I make sure, if I know there are players in the building, that I make sure to go down to the weight room, training room or locker room where they are just to introduce myself. Let them know my door is open if they want to have further conversations about anything. Whatever it is, and they are more than welcome to come in. Jeffrey Simmons was one of the guys who took the invite, and we sat and had a 20-minute, 30-minute conversation and realized we had a lot of people in common. So, it was really a get to know each other and, break ground and get to know each other. The first question I got when I got the job was from my 6-year-old son, and he asked if Jeffrey Simmons was going to be his boy. So, I had to ask Jeffrey if he wanted to be my 6-year-old son's boy. So, Jeffrey's cool with it right now, but I told my son maybe Jeffrey might not like you. So, we will see when we get there, but it was a great conversation and he is a cool dude. Carthon will now move on to the real task at hand and continue his evaluation of the prospects in Indianapolis for the 2023 NFL Combine. With a ton of holes on the Titans roster, Carthon surely has his work cut out for him.